Okay, so my name is Bridget Espinosa. Once again, I'm a consultant for the Southwest Detroit Business Association. My assistant, Maida Orozco, is off camera, but is available through a private chat if you'd like any additional information about the services of the Southwest Detroit Business Association, the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association, membership, or any of our upcoming workshops. She's my right hand, and I couldn't do this without her, so I thank you very much for that. Robert DeWalsh has joined us. Robert, if you just want to wave hello to everybody, he is the president of the Southwest Detroit Business Association and is at your disposal. You can see he's sitting in his office all alone there at SDBA. So Paula, go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself, ma'am.
Okay, sounds good. So my name is Paula Anderanin, and I'm a digital strategist and e-commerce specialist. I included my information here, but obviously, you know, Bridget and I, we work very closely. So if I'm not available, you can always reach out to her as well. Mi nombre es Paula Anderanin y soy una especialista en comercios electrónicos y también en estrategia digital. Mi información está aquí, pero como comentaba en inglés, que cualquier cosa, si no estoy disponible enseguida, pueden contactar a Bridget.
All right, next.
Introduction?
Yep, that's you, Jared. Go for it.
All right, quick introduction. My name is Jared Spar. I am with Zero Fee 123. We are a credit card processing company in Canton, Michigan, and we offer unlimited credit card processing for as low as $10 a month. I'll go into more details when we have a presentation.
All right, thank you, Jared, for joining us. Jared Spar es el dueño de una compañía de transacciones de crédito y él nos va a explicar cómo hacemos pagos sin contacto. Es uno de los miembros de la Asociación de Negocios. It is important to mention that all four of our presenters are members of the Southwest Detroit Business Association, and I do want to mention that you know, part of your membership is the availability to help support these types of workshops on an ongoing basis. We're always looking for speakers. So thank you, Jared, for helping us out today. Okay, next. Eloisa.
Hello. Hi there. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Eloisa Underwood. My company is PerkPros, which helps with text message marketing and loyalty programs. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Eloisa Underwood. Mi compañía es PerkPros, que ayudamos a implementar marketing con text messages, con mensajes de texto y programas de lealtad.
Next.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Juan Carlos Duequi Pérez. Soy el dueño de Featherstone, una compañía de mercadotecnia digital y relaciones públicas. I'm the owner of Featherstone, a digital marketing and public relations firm, and I'll be talking to you guys about e-commerce.
All right. I think we're ready to begin. Paula, go ahead.
Okay. So obviously we're going to talk about e-commerce, which is a very, very important thing going on now, and how it can actually help improve your small business. So yo voy a estar hablando de soluciones de comercio electrónico y cómo puede ayudar a su negocio para tener más ventas. Bueno, todos sabemos cómo está
real
ahora
quick, let me just I'm sorry, just real quick housekeeping. We've had a couple of people added on.
Okay.
If you have not yet introduced yourself in the chat, please continue to do so while we're working. Favor de presentarse en el chateo. Pueden igual pasar su información de contacto directamente a Maida. If this is your first webinar with us, please include all of your contact information so that we can continue to invite you to these types of workshops. Sorry about that, Paula.
No, está bien. So the current situation, as we all know, you know, with the pandemic, 1 in 5 small businesses actually have reported that they had to close temporarily. And con lo que está pasando ahora, obvio, con el coronavirus, 1 de cada 5 negocios reportaron que tuvieron que cerrar desde que empezó la pandemia. The small businesses, many of them turned to technology to be able to survive the pandemic. And many of them realized, okay, we're going to have to continue operating. So they started selling physical goods, whether it's clothes, books, etc., online. And many of them had to create their website for the first time. One of the type of businesses that obviously was very critical during this time were restaurants. So many of them focus on off-premises, pushing for delivery and curbside pickup. Also, another big thing that, Jared's going to talk about more was the contactless payments. So ordering online, it really simplifies the payment process and the delivery as well. So, con el tema de ahora que pasó con la pandemia, muchos de los negocios chicos empezaron a usar tecnología para poder sobrevivir y muchos de ellos tuvieron que crear su website por la primera vez. Ahora, los restaurantes fueron uno de ese tipo de negocios que fueron realmente impactados con todo esto. Entonces, tuvieron que empezar a pensar cómo podemos seguir operando y poder seguir vendiendo para hacer entregas a domicilio y también para hacer que la comida pueda ser recogida en la acera. El proceso de poder ordenar en línea realmente simplificó el proceso de estar tocando el dinero y el riesgo obvio que eso también trae, y también cómo pueden mejorar la entrega a domicilio. Acá tengo una lista de beneficios para negocios chicos. Una de las cosas importantes de entender con los negocios chicos y comercios electrónicos es que realmente no cuesta tanto crear una página web para que pueda empezar a vender. Comúnmente el costo realmente se recupera enseguida al empezar a vender. Otra de las cosas es que ahora usted puede estar vendiendo las 24 horas del día, todo el año, especialmente si vende productos que no tienen que ser levantados en el restaurante o comida, cosas así. Pero en general eso aprovecha muchísimo a la gente para comprar. Y además, como la gente está encerrada en la casa y no tiene otras cosas que hacer, comúnmente se pone a comprar en línea. Otra de las cosas que es muy importante es que al tener una presencia en línea con un comercio así electrónico, es que uno puede encontrar clientes nuevos. Si uno prepara bien su página web, puede ser encontrado en Google, puede ser encontrado en los mapas de Google, en los mapas del iPhone, y también el hacer mercadeo en línea puede ayudar muchísimo también para tener clientes nuevos. Gran parte de lo que uno puede aprovechar a hacer esto en línea es que también puede tener muchísimo más fácil poder compartir una página web o un like a alguien que comúnmente es difícil de poder conectarse, lo puede hacer eso en línea mucho más fácil. Y mi cosa favorita de trabajar en línea, que yo hace muchos años que vengo trabajando online, es de que uno puede entender realmente a sus clientes. Cuando uno está en el backend, o sea, en la parte de atrás de la website, uno puede empezar a generar reportes de sus clientes. Entonces puede entender, por ejemplo, qué a menudo una persona compra este producto. Y si compró este producto, ¿qué otros productos compran a la misma vez? Entonces uno va creando un perfil de una persona y va entendiendo qué es lo que realmente a la gente le gusta y qué tipo de gente le gusta cierto producto. Entonces, cuando empieza a hacer el mercadeo, entiende que, ok, a esta persona le voy a dar este tipo de productos que le aparezcan en las redes sociales, o le mando un email, o le puedo mandar un mensaje por texto. So,
Paula, I'm going to interrupt you just for 1 second. Could you do me a favor and maybe bounce back and forth between the Spanish and English? Because for our non-Spanish speakers, it might get a little bit tiresome to like just listen to Spanish for more than a minute at a time.
Yeah. No worries.
Try to bounce yourself back and forth. You were getting into your passion here, I could see. But so, can I just make another comment too that I think would be really valid here? When I first started my business, or was even thinking about starting my business, one of the best questions that I was given by a mentor, somebody who had been working, for 30 years at, as his own business, was how are you going to make money when you are not working? And that question has bogged down in my mind for the last 5 years as I've been working on my business. And so I'd like to encourage all of you right now, if you have a little notepad next to you, put that question on that notepad. How am I going to make money when I am not working? ¿Cómo puedo yo hacer ingreso cuando yo no estoy trabajando? So many of us rely on our own, manpower, so to speak, our billable hours, the hours that we're in our storefront or the hours that we're front facing with customers. And those are the only hours that we are earning income. And that is not how one builds wealth or how one can grow. So, ¿cómo vas a hacerlo? ¿Cómo vas a crecer cuando tú no estás trabajando literalmente?
Okay. See, and to add to that, I mean, right now, I think we're going to probably one of the biggest tests any business is going through, because it's like, how do you survive when your usual operating system in person is not available, So it's definitely very critical.
Right. So Paul, you've got about 2 more minutes to wrap up this portion of the presentation.
So very quickly, so the e-commerce benefits, it's a low operational cost, increases revenue, how we talked about when you're not present. It's a greater customer acquisition to be able to be searched online. The social recommendation is extremely easy to do, and obviously now you're able to compete with larger stores where before you couldn't, if you're just spending on TV and things like that. And then the customer insights are very valuable because now you're able to understand their behaviors and what they buy, what they purchase, and do very targeted marketing. So here's the very exciting thing that I'm very happy to talk about. So we've been talking about this, like how can we have something where we can connect the community and the businesses to online, even during the pandemic, and to continue to do this moving forward, because people are getting also used to like purchasing things a certain way and like the curbside pickup, etc. So we talked about a mega store. So what this is a dedicated online store for businesses primarily in Southwest Detroit. And it's a one-stop shop. So you can buy from a restaurant, you can buy clothes, you can order from a grocery store, you can hire a plumber or an electrician, etc. So this is something that we talked about and we refined it, and we're very, very happy to announce that SDBA is partnering with the Bank of America, so we're able to provide very affordable solutions for your business. So definitely, there's going to be a link that we're going to share shortly. You want to make sure that you submit that. So the benefits include that it's easy and very quick to do the website development. So like the time it will take for you to get into the mega store with your own website branded with your menu, whatever products you sell, it's going to be like a quarter of the time it will take you if you were doing your own website. Then there's referral, because now you're exposed to somebody that went to purchase something and maybe they went to order Mexican food and then they realized, oh my God, I didn't know there's a restaurant that serves Caribbean food. So now you're able to be exposed to other stuff. It's way cheaper. And then you don't have to worry about one of the things that small businesses usually don't have an assigned, developer on staff. So, it's the automatic maintenance. You don't have to worry about security. You don't have to worry about updating the website because it's all going to be managed. It's mobile friendly and there's social media and email marketing. So
Paula, real quick, you do a really quick summary of that. You're already a minute over your time. So if you could just really summarize that in Spanish, and then we'll jump through everything else real quick.
Yep. So, rápido, porque andamos medio apresurados de tiempo, pero el Megastore lo que es una comunidad como, imagínese como un Amazon, pero que es dedicado para Southwest Detroit. Y no solamente uno puede comprar productos de ahí, pero también puede ordenar de restaurantes, puede contratar a electricistas, a cualquier tipo de servicios, y también puede ordenar de un supermercado. Y lo bueno que acabamos de hacer una asociación con el Banco de América, SDBA, que podemos dar programas muy, muy baratos para su negocio. Entonces hay un link que si llenan, así le podemos mandar más información. Pero los beneficios que obvio le va a salir mucho más barato y va a estar enseguida porque es parte de un sistema, no tenemos que crear una website separada para cada negocio y mantenemos todo lo que es seguridad y todo eso, ¿no? Rapidísimo, very quickly. So the e-commerce integrated solution, this is, I do want to just talk very quickly, is because when you build a website and you're not applying the different elements, it's just kind of like building something that's not going to be promoted or working effectively. So the way we're thinking about this is you have your website, which obviously we know all the things that happen with it. Then you have the PO system and the credit card processing, because to be able to order online, you have to effectively fulfill that order. So it's important that, for example, if you go to a Chipotle or a Panda Express, you very quickly jump, you know, from ordering online to the order being ready when you pick it up. And that's because they have the POS system and the website working together. Then when you go into like a very, you know, successful website, you also have the marketing that actually analyzes what we talked earlier about your customer profile and markets you specifically with all the things like social media, email, mobile, and all that stuff. So lo que podemos hacer con el Megastore, también con esto se puede hacer con una website individual también, pero lo que es importante de saber que cuando uno tiene su página web, por ejemplo, si uno tiene un restaurante, que es importante que tenga a su sistema donde recibe las órdenes conectado con la website. Así cuando alguien ordena en la website, enseguida le aparece la orden en el restaurante y el cliente llega feliz, ya tiene su orden completa. Entonces, de eso vamos a hablar un poquito más en septiembre también, cuando tengo otro seminar solamente específico para la web.
Okay. Well, I got to cut you off, honey, because otherwise everyone else is going to
no problem.
Have half their time.
So anyways, here's a quick preview of what it could look like, and then there's a link.
Maida, can you grab, or Paula, can you grab that link and put it in the chat? Or actually, no, Maida, would you grab the link and put it in the chat for us so that Jared can continue with his presentation? Okay. All right, Jared, you're up. Thank you, everybody. Paula's going to come back at the end as well, so you're welcome to stay and ask questions at the end.
Yeah, and in the interest of time and kind of time management, what I'll do is give you guys like the Cliff Notes version. And then any questions you guys have, just ask me at the end. We're going to have an open question after the presentation. So
and you are welcome to put questions in the chat. And as soon as our speakers are done speaking, they'll address those in the chat. So you can either send them a direct message, a private message, or you can just put it, publicly in the chat, and they'll address it either publicly or privately. Pueden hacer preguntas en el chateo directamente a cualquier de los presentadores o a Mayra, y se pueden contestar o privadamente o públicamente como usted quiera. Okay, go for it, Jared. It's all you.
All right. Real quick introduction again. Jared Spire with Zero Fee 123. We do unlimited credit card processing as far as low as $10 a month. We actually have 3 patents on what we do. Most people don't even realize there's patents for that program. We work with the government and all 60 governing bodies that monitor the program to make sure everything is legal. And we're also legal in all 50 states. Go ahead, Bridget.
All right. Actually, go back, Paula, so I can do a quick translation real quick. Okay. Entonces, es una compañía, Zero Fee 123, es una compañía que procesa tarjetas de crédito sin límite de transacciones por hasta tan poquito como $10 al mes. Tienen patentes en su proceso y también pueden presentarse una línea de crédito sin garantías personales. Tienen la habilidad de pago sin contacto, de pedidos en línea, y también tienen el sistema completo de POS help me out, my other translators here, point of sale, punto de venta. Okay, there we go. I had to go back in English. Okay, Paula, next slide, please.
Okay.
All right. So for our retail customers, obviously Zero Fee is really nice because it eliminates your credit card processing fees, and it makes it a lot easier to recover from the COVID.
Jared, for those people who are unfamiliar with credit card processing fees, we do have a couple of brand new businesses on the line.
Okay.
Could you tell them what the typical credit card processing fee costs?
If you're using a traditional processor, it's usually between 2 and 3%. If you're using like online, it's a little over 3%. Like if you're doing like a gateway or like a shopping cart.
Okay, fantastic. So you pass along that fee, that 3% or whatever it might be, to the client or the customer, as opposed to having the small business owner eat that cost.
Exactly, just like the gas stations.
Fantastic.
Contactless payments, like for a restaurant or retail situation, can be made like with Apple Pay and Google Wallet. So literally someone can pay with their watch or with their phone, which is really cool. And as Paula was talking about too, it's very easy to set up online sales like a shopping cart, and then you can actually have your business operating 24/7.
Okay, entonces los pagos sin contacto, hay varias maneras de hacerlo. En uno de los servicios que ofrece Zero Free 123, la compañía, es que normalmente una compañía paga entre 2 y 4% en cargos extras por dejar usar una tarjeta de crédito sus clientes, ¿ok? Entonces, pero ellos, su compañía, da ese cargo directamente al cliente para que ellos lo paguen y no les caiga a ustedes. Además, hay otras maneras de que sus clientes pueden pagar sin tocar nada, y esos se llaman Google Pay y is it Apple Pay too? Is it Google Pay and Apple Pay is what they're called? Que pueden utilizar sus teléfonos o hasta su reloj para poder pagar. Go ahead, Paula.
Mm-hmm.
And then, go back one slide. Contractors, really quick, can do, usually contractors are doing mobile payments or they're doing call it in the office payments. And what we can do is have them set up to do a text message or an email with a link to pay, or you can put a link to pay on their website. So they literally don't have to touch the credit card anymore. And it's really nice because the fees are not higher because it's a keyed-in transaction.
Entonces, para las personas que tienen negocios de servicio, como los contratistas de construcción o landscaping, etcétera, ellos pueden hacerles un sistema que nomás pueden mandar un texto a sus clientes ahí mismo en persona y pueden pagar con ese texto y no hay ningún cargo extra al dueño de negocio. Okay, next slide.
Right. And restaurants can do online ordering, online reservations, and it makes it a lot easier and quicker buying experience for the customer because it's a lot safer because it's all touchless. Once the customer is in the store, they can actually read the menus via QR codes, which is really nice. And there are systems that can actually make your payments. So instead of actually taking the payment from the customer, the waitress taking the payment, you can actually make the payment via a QR code too.
Okay, entonces para los restaurantes, obviamente la gente va a estar ahí presente, ¿verdad? Entonces, pero hay maneras de que ahí mismo en persona pueden hacer cosas con menos contacto. Por ejemplo, utilizar un código QR para que puedan pedir o pueden por lo menos ver el menú, e inclusive hasta pueden mandarles o mostrarles el recibo con un código de QR y ellos pueden pagar con sus mismos teléfonos. So you have a special guest that we brought on here. So we're going
Greg Richards from Brown Dog is on with us. He's a restaurant owner, and he actually uses Square, and I want him to talk a little bit about how he makes some changes to make his business actually grow during the quarantine. So Greg, hopefully you are on unmute.
I am.
Yes. Greg, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to be able to celebrate small business owners who are continuing to have success even during this difficult time.
Absolutely, and thank you for allowing me the channel here to just tell you guys what we've done during this pandemic. You know, Bridget made a great point earlier about making money while you sleep, and that's something that an online store and an online presence definitely helps you do. And I think that the pandemic has definitely forced a shift in not only a business's perspective, but also in consumer spending and consumer habits as well. So if you're not online yet, then you definitely need to figure out how to be, because that's where everything is right now.
But typically, we don't think of restaurants being able to make money when they're not open, right? So talk
Right.
us. Unfortunately, our time is, we're losing minutes here, so we only have about 1 or 2 minutes for you.
Sure.
But if you can just quickly share the top high level things that you were able to do to bring yourself online.
Absolutely. So shifting to an online sales platform, what that did is we put our entire menu online, meaning that people, if you're up in the middle of the night and you want to order dinner for tomorrow night, you can throw it in right now. So you're not having to order when you're hungry. Having pictures and visuals and things is a lot nicer when you're ordering on your own time and you have tons of pictures to look at. It makes the ordering process a lot easier. And the one thing is, we went from no online store to an online store in 24 hours, but that's not where the process stopped. I continued on for the next 4 weeks, continually tweaking it and making it even better for the user and experience. And the biggest thing that I can recommend to everybody is just stay relevant, continue updating. Just because it's online, just because you posted a picture, if you're not continuously staying in front of people, continuously posting on social media and continuously telling people what you have, you will be forgotten. You have to stay on top of people's awareness.
And you guys have done a really great job with that, Greg. Let me just quickly translate what you shared. Entonces, ellos son un restaurante, tienen locaciones en Northville y Plymouth. Y lo que hicieron inmediatamente era crear una tienda en línea y pueden recibir pedidos. Por ejemplo, en la noche, cuando después de comer ya quieres pensar del día siguiente, puede meterse a su sitio web y ver todas las fotos de toda la comida, hacerlo, ponerlo en su carrito, pagarlo y tenerlo ya visto y pagado para recoger el día siguiente a cierta hora. Y eso es extremadamente importante. Eso es algo que no he visto muchos restaurantes mexicanos hacer todavía. Y eso es algo que nosotros podemos ayudarle en hacer. Es precisamente el servicio que Paula y Juan Carlos van a poder ayudarles en crear. Okay, eso es muy importante. What else have you done in store, Greg? Are you guys open for outdoor seating and that?
We are. Yeah, we are open for outdoor seating. So Northville has shut down the main streets and allow us to expand our patio. We do have contactless payments, and then as Jared alluded to, we've been using QR codes that not only allow you to scan it from your phone and bring the menu up on your phone, so you don't have to touch pieces of paper and things, but it allows you the freedom when they scan that QR code, the pictures and everything are on there as well. The contactless payments have been a huge thing that we were doing prior to the pandemic, but something that's even more now relevant as people are afraid to touch things, or we don't know. Everybody's got their own level of fear with everything. And so,
what are you using for the contactless payments? Are you using
using Square
QR code on their receipt? Is that how that works? Or?
Nope. So we're using Square as our platform. It's also doubling up as our POS platform.
Or does it text them? What's the process?
So they come up, we have a little chip reader and we can hold it right out. You can just touch your card right to the chip reader, or you can insert your own card into the chip reader. So you don't have to hand your card off to the serving staff to do so.
Okay, so it's not like, it's not a Wi-Fi thing. It's just a touch, just so that they are not touching each other. Okay, got it. All right, fantastic.
Correct.
Thank you.
We've sort of interpreted it as contactless. So
yeah, that makes sense. That is actually that is one way of doing contactless payments.
For sure.
Okay, yes. Es simplemente tener tu maquinita con el chip para que la gente le puede meter su propia tarjeta y sacarlo. No hay necesidad de tocar nada. Eso en sí es sin contacto, ¿no? Entonces es otra manera de verlo. Thank you so much for joining us, Greg. We really appreciate your.
Absolutely. Thank you, and good luck, everybody.
Thanks. Okay, next slide, please.
All right, so that's me just wrapping up. And just want to kind of say that the biggest silver lining of the pandemic is that with all the new technology, we're able to capture our customers' information so that we can remarket to them. And then I'm going to turn it over to Paul or to Eloisa, and I think she can talk a little bit more about how the marketing and branding works.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Un punto muy importante. We're going to share this slide presentation, so some of the slides didn't get shared, but we will be able to share this video and the presentation itself. Vamos a compartir esta presentación, tanto el video como el sistema. Pero lo que dice Jared es uno de los beneficios que vamos a decir en movernos hacia formatos digitales y en pagos sin contacto, etcétera, es que estamos recibiendo la información de contacto de nuestros clientes en una manera diferente y podemos utilizar esa información para comunicarnos con ellos más adelante. Entonces, eso es muy importante. Okay, so Eloisa, go ahead, Paula, and move to the next slide. Jared, make sure your contact information is in the chat in case people want to reach out to you directly to find out more about Zero Fee. You're up, JC.
Hi, everybody. ¿Qué tal a todos? So very quickly, to give you a little bit of background, we manage strategy, digital media, including social media, email marketing, and other things, websites, public relations, and content. And so oftentimes all of these things are connected to one another. One does not give you success by itself. It's got to be a combination of all of them. Para decirles un poquito más, en mi compañía lo que manejamos es estrategia, medios sociales, sitios web, contenido, y eso también significa por decir emails, email marketing. Me hace falta algo, pero bueno, lo que les quiero, relaciones públicas, lo que les quiero decir es que un solo servicio en sí regularmente no funciona. Tiene que ser una combinación de todos los servicios para poder crear resultados. Can you go next, please? So when we talk about, like going online, there's a couple of things that are really important to just consider before you even go online that are going to be, like alluding back to points that Jared, that Greg, and that Paula make. First off, you need to know what you have in store. You need to be able to like tell your customers whether they call you, whether they go to your website, whether they shop online, whether they come into your restaurant or to your business. Like you got to be able to let them know what it is that you offer, whether you have quantities of that or whether you don't. Es muy importante que uno de los primeros pasos es que sepan cuál es su inventario, sepan qué es lo que tienen. Ya se hace si la gente va a su negocio en línea, si les llaman por teléfono o si van a su local. Second, it's really important to know what platform you're going to be using for online sales. And everybody, like has a different capacity. Some people are really advanced, others are not. So whether you're starting off just with a good old fashioned, pen and paper, or whether you're going to like use social media like Facebook and Instagram, a website, or a third party like DoorDash or Grubhub, it's really important that that whatever platform you're going to be using, you stick to that and you define the systems that you're going to be using for that. Hay personas que tienen menos habilidades y más habilidades. Ya se hace que utilizan papel y pluma, medios sociales, su sitio web, o si usan algún servicio a tercero, como por decir Grubhub o DoorDash, es muy importante que tengan los sistemas organizados para poder tener fluidez en los servicios que ofrecen. Después de eso, también es muy importante que tengan las conexiones correctas, ya se hace para su banco, para que puedan recibir pagos o para que puedan hacer regresos de pagos en caso de que alguien quiera regresar algo, o también para que les lleguen notificaciones a ustedes de que alguien ordenó algo, o incluso si es que tienen que mandar recibos. It's really important also that you make sure that the connections are established between platforms and yourself, whether that means that you're going to be receiving payments to your bank account or doing refunds, whether that means that you're going to be sending invoices or that you're going to be sending receipts. We got to make sure that those connections are set so that you don't drop the ball. And then lastly, this is a very simple step that a lot of people tend to forget, especially right now. Follow-up is really important. 80% of sales is literally customer service. 20% is everything else. So make sure that whatever system you use, you either decide to call, you decide to email, or you make sure that you respond to those reviews. Es muy importante que no se olviden que darle seguimiento a sus clientes es una de las cosas más importantes. El 80% de ventas es servicio al cliente, el otro 20% es todo lo demás. Así que asegúrense de que le den seguimiento con llamadas, con correos electrónicos o que contesten por decir sus reviews en línea. Next. So before we talk about, before you decide what it is that you're going to be using, there's a couple of things that I want to lay out. Every single platform requires a specific thing. And depending on your skill level, you may decide to use something different or a combination of things. Whenever you're working with, you know, like old-fashioned systems, pen and paper, it's really important, you know, like you keep track of everything either in a notebook, a database like Google Drive, or that you use flyers for distribution as well as for your store, just so that you can let people know what it is that is available. That also includes tags if you have products, as well as pricing, like pricing tags, as well as like others SKU tags that you may need to be able to charge people. Second, if you're going to be using social media, you could potentially use Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or Google Ads, as well as other advertising platforms that are out there. You don't necessarily need a whole lot of skills to be able to set them up, but you do need time. And that is really important that you know upfront. If you decide to use a web store, which would be sort of the third level, then you have to use something that you understand so that you can make those adjustments the way that Greg was describing it. Because if you decide to go online, it's not going to be done, you know, like the first week or second week. You're going to constantly have to not only update because of inventory, but also you're going to have to update because there's new tools and features that are added like every week. If you decide to use something else like a website, like WordPress, Squarespace, or Wix, I also want to talk about web stores. Square and Shopify are platforms that allow you to be able to simplify your process of selling online. It doesn't mean that you have a website, you only have a web store. A web store is often connected to your URL, which would be like your www.yourbusiness.com, but it's not the same as having a website. They can be connected, they can live within each other embedded, and that's something that Paula can talk more about. If you decide to have a website, then you have to not only think about what your inventory is going to have, but also it's important that you think about the content that is going to go into your website, the way that people navigate it. It's kind of like walking through a Target, right? Target, basically, whenever you go in, they set up the store kind of knowing what path you're going to be taking. And in the way that you take that path, they place little bits, like little other products and goodies that you'll hopefully want to buy because you saw them on your path there to the point to where you pay. Same thing happens on the website. So it's important to understand that process of your customer. And lastly, if you decide to use a third party like Grubhub or DoorDash, it's not only important that you are fully aware of what you are putting online, but also what you want to do is make sure that you simplify the process for people. One, second, that you understand how the system works both in your kitchen if you have a restaurant, or in your cash register if the order goes through front of the house to back of the house. So it's also part of having communication with your team so that they understand what is happening and what the system is, and also so that they let you know what isn't working. Bien rápido, regresando a algunas de las herramientas que pueden usar. Pueden empezar con algo tan simple como un cuaderno, una base de datos que sea en línea como en Google Drive, o incluso de estos volantes o de estas tags que utilizan para los precios que le ponen a la ropa o a diferentes productos. Pero tienen que estar bien organizados en eso. Si es que deciden usar medios sociales, que sería el número 2, pueden usar Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google Ads, entre otras cosas, pero más que nada tienen que tomar en cuenta que van a necesitar invertir tiempo al principio para que les puedan funcionar sus sistemas. Ahora, entre el 3 y el 4 hay una diferencia. Una web store no es lo mismo que una website. Una web store es a través de Square, Shopify o de algún otro software que les permite facilitar el uso de una tienda en línea. No significa que tienen un website, pero esa web store sí puede ser conectada al URL de su tienda, el www.sutienda.com. Si es que tienen un website, utilizan WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, es importante que sepan no solamente que van a tener que actualizar todo su inventario en línea, pero también que van a tener que pensar en el contenido de su sitio de internet y de la misma manera de los pasos que sus clientes toman. Y eso es algo que Paula va a platicar un poquito más en septiembre. Por último, si utilizan algún servicio de tercero como Grubhub o DoorDash, es importante que suban no necesariamente todo su menú, pero las cosas que ofrecen, las que se les van a hacer más fáciles de poder servir y que van a hacer que el sistema de entrega sea lo más rápido posible. también es importante que mantengan al tanto a su equipo para que sepan cómo funciona el sistema, por dónde entran las órdenes, cómo se hacen los pagos y si es que hay algo que no funciona, que les puedan dejar saber a ustedes para que lo arreglen. Next. There is a little sort of flow here that I have for you to try and explain and simplify what your customer's journey is like. First off, your customer needs to be able to find things as easily as possible. They're not going to take the time to search for a lot of things unless it's something very valuable to them. And oftentimes, whenever people are having difficulties finding something of value, they will probably go to a different place where it's easier to find what they're looking for. Second, it's got to be easy for them to make a payment. If they have to go through, like a lot of different hoops and to be able to pay you, then it's possible that you may drop them or that they may drop you. Once they pay you, then essentially you're going to start having cash flow into your company. After that cash flow, it's important that you follow up, because once you follow up, you're not only reminding the customer that you care about them, but you're also making sure that you didn't drop the ball in any place during their process. And it's really important that you remember that right now, this is not just about you. This is about what's happening with USPS, UPS, FedEx. This is what's happening with like literally everyone in the world. So you want to make sure that from the beginning, from when your customers start spending with you or searching for something, they pay you and they receive their product the way that they expected it, so that they go to step 5, which would be to repeat the process and they come back to you. Este es el camino más o menos que toman sus clientes. En primero, tiene que ser fácil para ellos poder encontrar lo que están buscando o poder encontrarlos a ustedes. Si es que no es fácil, hay muchísimas otras opciones a las cuales pueden acudir y es posible que los puedan perder. En segundo, tiene que ser fácil para ellos poder hacer pagos. Si es que tienen que pasar por 3, 4, 5 pasos para poder pagarles, entonces también es posible que vayan a otro lugar en donde puedan comprar algo más fácilmente. Después, en el paso 3 es cuando van a empezar a recibir dinero. Después de que empiecen a recibir dinero, es importante que le den seguimiento, que es el paso 4. Y en el seguimiento quiero darle énfasis a que el proceso de compras ahorita no solamente depende de ustedes, depende del correo, depende, inclusive si es el correo de los Estados Unidos, FedEx, UPS. En muchos espacios o en muchos puntos es posible que pase algo en el cual sus clientes no reciban lo que esperan, por lo tanto, ustedes van a ser los perjudicados. So, si es que dan seguimiento, se aseguran de que el paso 5, sus clientes se vuelvan a repetir como clientes. Next. And then lastly, I put together a little sort of graph to make it easy for you to decide what it is that you need to use. The top portion is the ease to set something up. The higher you go, the easier it is to set up. The lower you go, the more difficult it is to set up. And on the left side, you have food. On the right side, you have retail and services. So for example, if you're a restaurant and you're looking to make something as easy as possible, then you want to go with maybe Toast or Upserve. And that's something that you use kind of like as a POS, similar to what Greg described, but also you can use it for online stores. Similar to that is Square, which falls in the middle. It can be used both for food and retail, but it is really easy to set up. Same thing with Facebook and Instagram and Etsy. It's easy to set those up, but they mainly serve retail and service businesses. Whenever you start, like, if you decide that you want to do something a little different, like Squarespace or WordPress for retail, you can still use that for food, but there will be a few more complications and steps that you have to go through to be able to make it work for you. These right here are subjective. It doesn't mean that this is going to give you the answers. And so it is possible that you may require to do more research, but also ask around. Other people may be able to tell you from their experience how it is that this has worked for them. Les creé esta gráfica bien rápida. La parte de arriba describe qué es lo más fácil de poder programar. La parte de abajo describe qué es lo más difícil. El lado izquierdo es la comida. El lado derecho es retail y servicios. Basado en dónde caigan los logotipos, es la dificultad con la que pueden programarlo desde el principio o el tipo de servicio o comida, producto que ustedes proveen. Basado en esto, esto es más que nada para poder ayudarles a escoger algún servicio, pero no significa que es el mejor servicio para ustedes. Les recomendaría que pregunten a otros restaurantes o a otros negocios qué es lo que a ellos les funciona. And with that said, I think that that is it for me.
And one
That is
last thing
it.
before we go
Oh,
off this slide, I think
sorry,
it's really
Bridget, I
important.
wanted to add something here.
Yeah.
So it's just as a high level to understand. So like, for example, here, a WordPress might be on the lower part or even Shopify. However, there's a huge difference to understand. Like, for example, if you go with Amazon or Etsy or Uber Eats and all that, you have to pay a commission fee for all the transactions. So like, for example, I done actually last week one on just Amazon, like a webinar, and they pretty much end up taking close to like 40% of your sales. So if you have your own store, then you can run special like 20% off of the whole inventory, and you're still making a lot of money because you're still paying less than just posting it on Amazon. So
my point, Paula, was going to be too that we're here to help you. Like we're short on time today, pero estamos aquí para ayudarles. This is the whole point of pulling this team together. Is that, you know, Paula and Juan Carlos and Eloisa and Jared and I are here to support you in creating an integrated system so that you don't have to know how to do all of these things. Ustedes no tienen que saber hacer todo esto porque nosotros estamos aquí para ayudarles. Entonces, eso es muy importante, saber que este equipo de todos los presentadores y conmigo, con la Asociación de Negocios, estamos aquí para ayudarles. I think that is like the main point of all of this, right? That this is complicated, but we're here to support you. So, okay, we've only got about 6 more minutes, and I've got a few more things to cover, and Eloisa still needs to go as well. So we are going to run over probably about 10 minutes. We understand if you've only allocated the 1 hour for this, but I would love it. We are, you know, have some exciting announcements and some different things. Paula, could you find the survey link and put that in the chat? Maya wasn't able to grab it because she was taking attendance on that. So Eloisa, go ahead and take your time. You were allotted 10 minutes. Go ahead and take those 10 minutes.
Thank you, Bridget. So,
Paula, I think she's going to need her next slide though.
Okay.
So let's just dive right into, I wanted to talk about the power of a text, since our company PregPros does text message marketing and loyalty programs. So it's easy to just understand the power of a text, and because we, as any type of, my son is sneezing, any type of average American, we are looking at our phone every 12 minutes. So it's easy to know that 98% of the texts are actually going to be seen probably within the first 10 minutes, while the emails are probably going to be open at a rate of 20%. So that's the reason why we have a response time of 9 minutes of a text versus a response time of an email of an average of 90 minutes, basically because of the also the level of number of emails that we are receiving. Quiero platicar rapidísimo qué es el poder de un mensaje de texto. Si tomamos en cuenta que en promedio los usuarios que tienen móviles ven su teléfono cada 12 minutos, podemos entender muy fácil por qué el 98% de los mensajes de texto al menos son vistos y dentro de los primeros 10 minutos, y el 20% de los correos electrónicos son abiertos también por el volumen que recibimos de los correos electrónicos, ¿verdad? Entonces, el poder del texto de verdad es increíble. Next. Thank you, Paula.
Yeah.
I found the link, Paula. I posted it.
Yes.
I realized that you're sharing your whole screen, so yeah, I totally get it. No big deal. We got it.
So let me explain to you how PregPros can help with mobile engagement. And this is one of the problems that everybody has, right? So how to stay engaged with your customers, and primarily and contingencies like we are living right now. We don't want to go dark, and we can use text messages to show your audience that they're important to you. and even make them feel like VIPs when joining a loyalty program that's very typical of a restaurant or a retail store, or even a birthday club. So PerkPros has a system that they're able to join a birthday club, a loyalty program, and engage with your customers with that approach, right? So in smaller businesses, relationships with customers are of vital importance, and text messages are great for that, because it's level of intimacy that a text gives you. We just text with friends, family, and very close persons, and when they accept to be part of your loyalty program, they're becoming part of your family. So, para explicar un poquito qué significa estar conectados a través de mensajes de texto y su móvil es, entendemos que en estos tiempos es muy, muy importante para las pequeñas y medianas empresas tener esa relación con sus clientes y siempre estar conectados de alguna forma. Y precisamente los mensajes de texto que utilizamos regularmente con amigos y familiares son íntimos en esa parte, y podemos así conectar con ellos para mostrarles que son muy importantes para nosotros, desearles feliz cumpleaños y hacerlos sentir como VIPs cuando les brindamos un premio por ser parte de un programa de lealtad. Next. So targeted marketing with text messaging is what I think is the most valuable aspect of text message marketing. So we get to send a text message to share with our clients special events, sales, holiday, celebrate holidays with them, sales because of a holiday, new products and services via a short message service, an SMS, a regular text, which is 160 characters, or we're also able to use MMS, which is a multimedia service, which includes a picture and up to 1,000 characters within the same text. Un marketing dirigido que podemos utilizar creando diferentes campañas con mensajes de texto son muy valiosas porque podemos llegar directamente al móvil de tus clientes para compartir ofertas porque es Navidad, porque es el Día del Padre, porque es el Día de la Madre, o simplemente porque no ha venido a tu establecimiento hace 90 días, por ejemplo. Si hace 90 días no se ha parado y sabemos que no ha hecho un check-in, si es parte de tu programa de lealtad, los podemos invitar para que regresen y así estar conectados y siempre que estemos en la mente de nuestros clientes. So basically we want to always stay top of mind of our clients. Thank you, Paula. Next, please. So how do we have a customer or client join our loyalty programs? One of the easiest ways now with the contingency is to use the QR codes, which were mentioned before. And if you try this right now, even, and if you hover over the QR code, what happens is a prompt entails, and you just hit send, and it basically just guides the user to send a text with your campaign keyword. We create a keyword for your particular campaign. And then now that's how a person is part of your subscriber list.
So I want to encourage everyone to actually do this. This is legitimate right now. So this is our QR code for the Southwest Detroit Business Association. If you did not receive a text alert from us yesterday, you are not currently subscribed. So we would love for you, everyone right now, just to get out, if you're on your computer, get out your phone and you can open up your camera and hover over this QR code, and it will automatically, so you don't have to have a QR reader anymore. That's, I think, you know, one of the things a lot of people don't realize, that these QR codes are now attached to our cameras, and it will give you a little thing that will open up your messages. So go ahead and do that right now. And if you successfully are able to do this right now, will you just give us a thumbs up or put a quick, you know, note in the chat that, you know, signed up, something like that, so we can see how many people signed up for this at this moment. So Luisa, do you want to translate that into Spanish or do you want me to do it?
You can go ahead, Bridget. Yes.
Okay. Entonces, si no han recibido los mensajes de SDBA, pueden hacerlo en dos maneras. De hecho, esto es para los mensajes en inglés y también tenemos otra manera de inscribirse en español, que ahorita lo ponemos en el chateo. Pero solo lo que tienes que hacer es abrir tu cámara y poner tu cámara enfrente de la pantalla y la misma pantalla te va a indicar otro enlace para abrir tus mensajes y inmediatamente solo te tienes que meter send y nos va a llegar tu inscripción para poder recibir recuerdos de texto por SDBA.
Thank you, Bridget. Next.
All right, so we are actually already over our time, Eloisa, so if you can kind of wrap up your presentation.
Sure,
So I've got a few more awards, or I'm sorry, a few more slides.
Of course. So this is the second way we can join a subscriber list via tablets. Esta es otra manera de hacer que alguien sea partícipe de tu programa de mensajes de texto. Next. Finally, we just want to keep our customers thinking about this, just having us top of mind.
Go ahead and put next,
text
Paula.
messaging.
Okay.
So that way Eloisa's information's up. So, and if you want to register for Eloisa's text messages, she also, you know, provides alerts to her customers and people. And if, like I said, she's been amazing to work with. She's helped us with our SDBA program, and she can help set you up for a very inexpensive rate, especially those of you who are already members of the SDBA. So I would like to mention that all of our presenters today do provide discounts for new clients that come to them through the Southwest Detroit Business Association. That's a benefit, a mutual benefit for all of you. So if you are a member of the SDBA, or if you want to become a member of the SDBA, we're going to help you with that as well, and they will provide discounted rates for you. You just have to let them know that you are a member. Next, Paula. Thank you, Eloisa. So again, para los que quieren hacerlo en español, en vez de poner SDBA, pueden mandar un texto 80301 y en el mensaje pone Spanish, la palabra Spanish, aunque sea en inglés, pero la palabra Spanish, y eso te va a ayudar en inscribir para los textos solamente en español. So if you weren't able to get the QR code to work, you can just text the number 80309 and just put in the message the letters SDBA, and that will also, it's another way to enroll. Go ahead, next, Paula. So I understand that people need to go. Please feel free to pop off if you have to, but I would be remiss if I didn't support the association that is supporting all of us. We have a really tremendous membership benefits program. It is a dual membership with both the Southwest Detroit Business Association and the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association. And currently membership is free. We originally had it through August, but we are extending, through July, and we are extending it through August 31st at this point. All you have to do is go to southwestdetroit.com/membership. If I could ask somebody to drop that in the chat so that you can create that as a hyperlink, that would be amazing. And go ahead and register today. It is free. You do not have to make any payments. We will send out invoices in September or October, maybe even. And those, you know, if you've got a financial hardship, just let us know and we'll make sure that you are all set. Thank you, Juan Carlos, for adding that to the chat. I saw that you asked for a screenshot, and I can actually provide the QR code as a, Eloisa, would you mind popping the QR code in as an image? Next, Paula. Okay, keep going. All right, so we have 2 more workshops coming up, actually 3 right now. So the next one, again, we would like to thank our sponsors of both this programming and our new e-commerce site. So I'm not sure if we have anybody on the call or on our, from either Comerica Bank or Bank of America. If you are, if you'd like to unmute yourself, we'd like to say thank you and allow you to introduce yourself. If there's anybody here from either Comerica Bank or Bank of America, it doesn't look like it, but you never know. People may be using a different name. Okay, so there was somebody on the phone earlier, and that may have been. So Comerica has been our sponsor through most of COVID in allowing us to do these virtual workshops. They're going to be doing a workshop on July 28th on business credit. Entonces, otra vez, todos los talleres son bilingües, van a ser el mismo formato. Ya extendimos por 1 hora y media, de 6 a 7:30 p.m. Es exactamente el mismo enlace. Could I ask somebody to put the Zoom saver bit.ly in the chat for me? So put this right on your calendar. Ponlo en tu calendario el 28 de julio, 6 a 7:30. 25 de agosto de seguranza de negocios 6 a 7:30 con el mismo enlace de hoy. So we've been using the same Zoom saver link, and until Zoom kicks us off of it, we're going to continue to use that. So it is predictable for you. And again, our next Saver Second Tuesday events will be on August 11th. I just yesterday confirmed with Google that they will be present. So our new topic, it's not going to be back-end marketing basics. It's going to be how do my customers find me online? And so we will be having Ola Google as a presenter. We're also going to be talking about Facebook, and we'll talk about Google Pay and Apple Pay. We're going to be talking about Apple Maps and how to ensure that all of your information is accurate. So that's going to be a really important workshop on August 11th. And then Paula is going to come back with a very in-depth, detailed presentation on September 8th regarding our Southwest Detroit mega store that's going to be under the Saver Southwest Detroit brand. So please put all of those dates in your calendar right now. Again, July 28th, then August 11th, then August 25th, September 8th. So we're going to be bouncing between 12 noon and the 6 to 7:30 time period. And I think we've got maybe 1 or 2 more quick things. I know people are probably having to go on to their next activities here. So we're going to speed these all up. So here's the survey link. I posted it in the chat. If somebody can copy it and put it down on the bottom. If you are interested in learning about this new program that Paula was talking about, we're just building it. We just got the announcement last week. You are the first to hear about this. So you are the elite VIP in the room. Así ustedes son las personas más importantes porque eso es el anuncio principal. Si quieren saber más sobre este nuevo sitio que vamos a crear con Paula, favor de llenar la encuesta. Discúlpame que no tuvimos tiempo de traducir la encuesta. Si agarran el enlace, lo vamos a traducir hoy mismo y mañana ya va a estar en español. Entonces, si no, ¿cómo se llama? Si no quieren tomar la encuesta en inglés, vamos a mandarlo por texto y vamos a mandarlo otra vez en los correos electrónicos igual. Entonces, y va a estar traducido al final de este día. Lo siento mucho que no tuvimos tiempo ayer de traducir la encuesta. Okay, next, please, Paula. Thank you so much. Okay, again, I would be remiss if I did not mention the census. If you are still on the call, we still have 21 participants. Would you please put in the chat whether or not you have already filled out the census, either with an emoji, a thumbs up, absolutely. And then I'd like to encourage you, if you've already taken the census, will you please grab this link, my2020census.gov, and create a quick video, 10-second, 30-second video in your native language, in tu idioma natal, y darle el mensaje a todos sus amigos a que llenen el censo. Si quieren en español, pueden también hacer la llamada al 844-468-2020. If you can call, if you're uncomfortable putting your, all of your personal information online, we totally understand that. They do have a phone line, 844-330-2020 in English and 844-468-2020 in español. If you've already filled it out, and please, I cannot stress enough, please encourage your friends to do so. Send them private messages, post it on Facebook, do a quick video. How many of you are willing to do that? Out of the 21 participants that I have on the call, how many of you are willing to invite your friends to fill out the census? Next, please, Paula.
I think that's it.
All right. Okay. So actually, if you would end your share, and I'm going to end with this last thing. So on the call earlier, and I'm not sure if he's still on. Eddie, are you still on iBreathe Design? He is. All right, Eddie. So Eddie has been working with us. I wanted to give him a quick shout out. He's the one who's been creating the posters for the last 3 months for our Savor Southwest Detroit, and he has been amazing to work with. I know I am not always amazing to work with, so I wanted to thank him for his patience with me. And then also I want to show everyone this amazing quick video that he created for the SDBA. And with this video, we are going to end our presentation, but I think it's really super important to highlight, again, our members and also just the work that y'all are doing. So we've got some amazing marketing professionals who are supporting our clients, and they are available for hire. They all own their own small businesses as well. And I think that that's a really important thing to do. So I'm gonna share this last video, and then we're gonna stop our recording and go. So enjoy. Applauso. Thank you so much, Eddie, for creating that, and again, having patience with me with all of the changes that we needed to make in order to get that happening. So, I'm willing to stay on the line if there are people that want to network a little bit. Si tienen algunas preguntas o quieren hacer algo, vamos a apagar la grabación. So I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us. Again, we'll see you in late July for the Comerica business credits, and in August and September for the updated Savor Southwest Detroit. I'm going to stay on the call. If anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself, and we can have a little Q&A and networking. I'd ask my presenters if they're able to stay on for another few minutes. Thanks so much.